Hey, this is Ricky. Welcome to another episode of the Fall Off Podcast. I'm your host, Ricky. I'm here today because, I want to talk about some things in the workplace um, that could potentially help you. Uh, the workplace etiquette. Now, with the workplace etiquette, and I know you guys are like, man, why you always got on shades? This is my signature. Shades and a hat is my signature. Um, and I love it. I love shades though. But anyways, and also because there's damn bright light right here. But anyways, um, the workplace etiquette. You have no friends. I'm just gonna get right into it. Okay, it is this is episode 1 of season 2 of the Fall Off podcast. How you like that? New year, new us. Randy's not here. Randy's working. I'm getting in the studio with him. We're gonna work it out, but I gotta keep us going, keep the bills paid for, so we can go. But anyways, season 2, episode 1 of the Fall Off podcast. Listen, I told you guys in the precursor before the new year that I was going to talk about some things that I kind of been through and went through, and it was only fitting that I kind of do this by myself. I mean, he was going to be here just to kind of listen and go, yeah, no, Rick, you wasn't right, or whatever have you, which he'll probably do later on. But this is something that I would like to get out there, just for the people, man, just to show that, you're going through it. This is how you should kind of handle it and move forward. Everybody don't have the same route that how things go, but this information can save you from either quitting the job or getting fired, or just saying, hey, I'm gonna take my 2 weeks and then find another job. Here it is. The first things first, none of them motherfuckers are your friend. Oh, I'm sorry, you gotta edit that. I'm not trying to cuss. None of these people are your friends. Now, does that mean that you don't associate with them as like a friend? Yeah, you have to brown nose. You have to get along to get along, because you need people to move and do things. Everybody isn't going to like what you do and how you do it. But the most important thing in that is that if you are the boss, so we're gonna go down the list. It was just small. So if you're the director, manager, and then like if you're an ops manager, and then a manager, and then a supervisor, and then a shift person, then you got your subordinates underneath you. If you in any one of those things, let's break it down. If you aren't a boss, if you're just the person that comes in, punches the clock, and do what you're supposed to do, you need to just do that. You need to just fall in line and get along, because you're not the boss. You're not anything. I'm just being honest. I don't wanna like sugarcoat it or anything like that. I want people to misconstrue, because I'm going to go down the list of how you should handle yourself. It's almost like the army. The sergeant get in your face, the lieutenant get in your face, and you just you on the small end. Shut up. Do what you're supposed to do and get out. You're not the boss. Like, it's just as simple as that. I don't know no other way to say it. You come to work, you punch in, you punch out, you do what you're told to do. Fast forward. If you are just above that, meaning a full time or whatever you want to call, you're not a supervisor, but you handle yourself in a way that the people under you see how to act, how to be, because you want to get to the supervisor manager level. So you need to also get along, play along, but at the same time, do what you're supposed to do and set the example for the people under you. Okay? And not give talk back, not give lip back. Like some people, I mean, listen, some people think that because you have a right to speak that you should speak. I'm being honest. Like, just because you have the right to speak, like if somebody's disrespecting you, like in a I'll give you an example of a disrespect. If you're in the lower class, and then you have a supervisor. If a supervisor tells you, "Hey, you're not supposed to wear sweatpants," And you know that you're not supposed to wear sweatpants. You know that you're supposed to wear khakis, but you come in and wear sweatpants. And then they say to you, hey, next time we're going to have a conversation. We're going to document and put it on paper. You shouldn't then go off on this of the supervisor. You know that if, and I say this a lot because if you're a black person in as a manager or supervisor and you have another, you're talking to another black person, sometimes that black person that's under you don't respect you, not because you're not qualified to do the job, just because you are telling them what to do and you think that they should get away with it because we got the same skin color. But let it have been a white man, a white woman. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Anything? No problem. I'll come in. I'm sorry. I was going through something. But let a black man or black woman in the higher position come to you and say, hey, you're not supposed to wear it. We're going to give you grace. We're going to tell you, you know what, don't even go home. Just make sure you get it right. Because you're representing me. I don't want to lose you. You're a good worker, probably, more than likely. And you probably need this job. But see, sometimes us supervisors or managers get in the habit of giving too much grace because you probably done made a friend. I think I fast forwarded too fast. My bad. I don't want to do that. Okay, anyways. So getting back to the person. So the person shouldn't be giving no lip back because 9 times out of 10, you're probably getting grace. So that was the example I was trying to use there with that. Another thing about the subordinates or anybody under supervisor, yo, look, you don't own the company. You're not a boss. That's just plain and simple. So the people that are telling you what you should be doing are telling you this for a reason. And they're giving you grace. You need to understand that. And also, your boss is not your friend. Stop taking the supervisor and turning them into your friend. They don't care about you. Not for real. What y'all gotta understand is that right there, what you're doing, trying to befriend the person just so you can get your way. They see right through it. Eventually, it's going to become you or them. And what's going to happen is, if you're in a real company, the paper trail going to follow you, and you're going to be out the door. That's just the bottom line for you. You have no say so. You have no authority. Only under the people under you by giving them direction and helping them out. But that's by leading by example, people. It gets to my next point. When you're at a job, not a career, there's no stepping stone for you fast like that. It don't happen like that. You don't. Some of these jobs, what they do is they find people to plug and play for just keepsake. Oh, yeah, we're gonna put him there because I like him. He's doing a good job, but you're not doing it. It's not a career, so it's just a job. So what happens is they plug and play you, but they don't even teach you how to do the job of the next part. They just figure because you're doing a good job here. And that gets to my point about supervising. You're a supervisor. You supervise the situation. You don't work. You don't be them. Sorry. You don't be them. Once you be them, then they think that they're you. And they can tell you what to do. And then they pit you against your boss and make it out to be something bigger than what it is. Again, it's a job. Your job is different from theirs. So why are you sitting with them like, I hope I'm getting to somebody right now. I hope I'm getting to somebody right now. Through, let's say, 25 years of work history, I would say 10 of those years of being a person that had to work underneath someone, I always worked extra hard for people because Not the brown nose, but because I got integrity. I understand that if I was in that position, I would want to be treated in a certain type of way. So I'm not going to disrespect a person that's, you know what I'm saying? So I always thought when I came into a conversation or a meeting with my boss, with my supervisor as a subordinate, as a supervisor, and I came in to talk to my manager, I would have my list of things that I could do better or that they could do better to help me get better on. And then I would take the list of things that they gave me and seeing, not personal, I'm not taking it personal, but I'm taking it as, okay, they're seeing it from a different lens, from a bird's eye view compared to me. Let me get better at that. So if they're telling me you are being one of them, you're catering to them instead of to the business, guess what happens? I got to switch it because it's me or them. I have a family to feed. It's never personal. What becomes personal is when you try to do something to your subordinates because you don't like them. Not because you don't like their managing style, supervising style, it's just you just don't like them. And then again, that's okay. But then that's your integrity because now you're using your supervisory responsibilities and duties, and you shouldn't be in that job. Goes back to what I said: management putting people in places that they don't even know how to even manage or supervise. Like people don't realize to be a supervisor, you have to be a manager. To be a manager, you have to be an ops manager. To be an ops manager, you have to be a director. And some of these people in some of these jobs are none. Yo, listen, I was trained by some of the best people, man. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, give you a background. Spectrum. Shout out to Alquin, man. I was Alquin, my good friend of mine now. Just a good friend. Alquin interviewed me at a job. And give me your story, backstory. And I was interviewing for a lead position. Okay. He interviewed me and the interview was well, but he just didn't feel like I had the skill set to do the particular job because I wasn't at the job long enough. And he said that to me, and he didn't hurt my feelings. It just was like, oh, okay, cool. I was taking the right steps, going from lead. I mean, going for customer service rep, immaculate salesperson, immaculate attendance, no issues. Was in dress code all the time. But that's just another thing. But one thing that he said to me was after the interview and then after I wind up applying for the supervisor and getting it, one of the things he said to me was, you didn't, it's not that didn't have the skill set for the job for this particular lead, but I felt you were above that. And I didn't want to hold you back because I knew what was coming forward. That's what bosses do. Like I can't say this no plainer. That's what bosses do. He had the level of, even though he was a supervisor, as being a manager. Some people bite their nose off despite their face. Alquin seen it. Man, guess what? I was a supervisor. Spectrum. When I became a supervisor and my Tasha, shout out to Tasha, man. She was a good person, good woman. I forgot the other lady name that she used to roll with, man, but her, and a couple other people, managers that was there, they were really helpful in the maturation of me becoming a supervisor, getting me into being a manager. Because for the 2 years that I was there as a supervisor, it really put me in a right place to understand why things need to be a certain way. You can't be running with and I hate to say it like this, but the ops, the people under you are ops. I'm sorry, you can't run with them, but you can empathize with them. You can't get down and understand where they're coming from and what they're going through, but you still have to have a level of like hold them accountable. April is a good friend. April Penn, my godson. I am her son's godfather. April was a customer service agent. Now we became good friends. Remember, I told you that we're not friends, but she understood my job. She understood what I had to do. She understood what was the pressure that was under, and she understood that she wasn't a agent. She was a lead or supervisor. So when she heard me speak and motivate her to do the right things, guess what? She became that and more. And then outside of it, once I left, she was like, "Yo, you brother for life." But see what I'm saying to you, in the work environment, you got to separate the friends. But as supervisors, you're not some these supervisors that are out here in the world. You're gonna have a long road to being a man, becoming a manager, because you're always going to somebody's gonna always second guess. Dang, are you for the company or are you for the people? And it's sad to say, yo, when it comes down to the company is what you're working for as the boss. So again, remember when I said the levels, right? The people under the supervisors, under the leads, you have no say so. The supervisors have say so over you, but they don't have no say so at the top. The further you are away from the top, the further you don't got no say so. As a manager, you got flexibility. Get to manager. As a manager, you got flexibility. You delegate and you watch. You observe. I'm a great observer. I am a great observer. And the one thing about me is that if I delegate a task to you as a manager, I ain't gonna come back and keep saying, yo, do this and do that. I'm gonna say it this way. I ain't gonna come back harping and nagging. But I'm gonna come back like, hey, what's up? What's going on with that? How you getting it done? Oh, okay, cool. Hey, listen. As long as you get it done. I got a deadline. You need to get a deadline. And that's how things go. You don't want someone in your ear, oh, you gotta get it. It's not a sergeant. It's not a dictator little country. It's not a sergeant or a lieutenant in the army. No, this is just a job. At the end of the day, job. And respect it as such. Listen, I am 18 minutes in and I'm killing shit. Hey, listen, subscribe to the channel. Also, we are on Patreon. We are on YouTube. We are on Instagram. Subscribe to the channel. But yeah, back to it. I just want to say this. When it's always each one teach one as a manager. I'm teaching you as a supervisor, yo, look, separate yourself. You need to be a manager. Some of you supervisors don't understand that. All you understand is either work or the only way I'm going to get this person to do is if I be their friend. If I butter them up. If I buy them this. If I do that. No, that's not how the way you go. And then no, as a supervisor, don't never ask your manager, oh, what about me buying me a coffee? Or why would you do that? Begging ass. Somebody need to do something for you because they want to do it, because they see that, you know what, they respect who you are as a person and what you're rolling with as a supervisor. So managers, this is a key operative, and this is because I went through it. Watch how you talk to people. Because everybody don't have the background. Everybody don't even have the skin to deal with it. They can't even deal with themselves, let alone you telling them to peel off the layers. They're not on the same playing field as you. So when you come to them, you have to really go under the supervisor to them, and then the people under them. You got to dig low. Like, you have to kind of meet them where they are, and not talk. Like, when you talk to a supervisor, it's different the way you would talk to them. realizing that. It's a light bulb moment. But at the same time, you be thinking as a manager, why? You're grown. But some people aren't on the same level. It's almost like in school, right? You have in ninth grade. You know how they had the interest exam to see where you are in math, reading, science. So they know what classrooms to put you in and what teachers to put you in and what how because teachers take tests too. So they will put so if you're a high end student, you going up with the high end teacher because he gonna teach you. He gonna get it. It's gonna be crazy. You guys that's low, they're gonna be lower, and what's gonna happen is they're the way they teach and their teaching style is much slower. I'm teaching y'all something, man. I'm teaching you something, bro. So managers, you have to understand that your boss don't give a flying fruit and nanny that your team is underperforming. All they want to know is how is it going to get corrected. Teaching y'all something because that's how I became the greatest of the great. Listen, I don't care what nobody say. Ain't nobody alive. I don't want to do that. There wasn't anybody in that building, in that company, that was better than me at managing people. You got to understand when you managing people, you have to manage all different type of personalities and understand the personalities. A person like me who has 8 sisters, they all have different personalities, and 3 brothers. Yeah, 3 brothers. They all got different personalities. So when you can recognize this person is a manipulator and this person is this, or they like your sister, you know how to do it. You know how to talk to them. Yeah, you know how to talk to them. And you know how to get them to do the things that you need them to get to do without begging them and bribing them. But a lot of times you miss the mark as managers. You thinking that you motivating and you doing something to them to get and being uh, uh grace, giving them grace. A lot of times you ain't giving them grace. All you doing is pacifying these little butts because they on that second grade reading level when you on the 10th grade. And a lot of times the people that are under supervisors are on that level. Being honest with you, I'm not talking bad. There's some people. There's not a lot of people that don't have an education or anything like that, or don't. I mean, I'm not trying to down them, but what I'm saying is a lot of times their mental is not even kind of up there with yours because if their mental was up to yours, they would know what you're going through and know what not to do. Again, going back to me with Alquin, I knew that I needed to do the things that I needed to do. My learning capabilities for that particular job wasn't it. Okay, cool. Let me pivot. One of my pastors, I call him my pastor, Keon Henderson. Okay, because I watch him faithfully. But one of my pastors said, "Yo, in 2025, you need to learn how to pivot. You need to learn how to, because if you don't know how to pivot, it's gonna be a long, long, hard road and job. And so my next thing is ops managers. Ops managers are supposed to be supportive to the managers, not the people at the bottom. What are you doing? What are you doing? I am the person who's telling you why this person has bad attendance because I'm talking to the person because you're asking me why. So if you're asking me why and I go to that person and I bring it back to you, but then they bring to you that I'm talking to them in a derogatory way, it doesn't add up. And then you don't want to sit down with them. See, some managers, I think I got personal a little bit, but I'm using this as an example too. So whatever. Some ops managers don't understand what's going on the floor. You feel me? And then they only understand what their boss is on them about certain things. So here's where in line where I say people are misplaced in jobs. There are people that are probably great managers, bad workers. There are probably great ops managers, bad workers, or great ops workers, bad managers. It's just what it is. But the hiring needs to go and start within and looking at that. You're hiring people for things that they aren't even qualified for. Look at their resume, for Jesus. I know a lot of people. This one manager told me, he's like, oh, yeah, you could doctor up your resume. You can, but you can't fake interview. You can't fake interview. You can't pump fake your way in a certain conversation. I can get in an interview and kill the interview, and they never did not one of the jobs. But that's me. But then there's people that put down stuff that they probably never did. What you was a supervisor at Costco's? What did you do at Costco's? How did you handle this situation? They can't even tell you because they never been. You can always tell. You can tell. I listen, as being a person that's been in management for so long, you could always tell when somebody don't need to be where. That's why when I hired people, I seen their work ethic, but you know what also I seen? I seen how they handle customer service with other people and with their bosses and how they handle their family and how they handle, you know what I'm saying? Like people don't realize, probably spitting all in the mic. People don't realize that all of those things go in effect of being a great manager or a great ops manager. The ops manager due diligence is for his managers. HR handles everything else. But ops managers are supposed to have their ops. But if you don't like them, if you don't like your managers, because you didn't pick them. Keyword: if you didn't pick them, you don't give a hell. You don't even know the person. Some people don't even know the people that they even working with. Don't even like the people because they don't even know. They didn't pick them, or they think that they don't know the job. But then also, when you don't come to the floor and observe your managers working and also your supervisors working and how they are, you're just going to assume all the time. And that's what makes bad ops managers. My point today was you need to choose a career over a job. And when you're in a job, recognize when it's time to go. You know, I was at a job for 3 years, going on 4. And I just, even my doctor said, you need to go. It's too much stress on you. You're stressing over something that it's not even worth stressing over. Like these people don't care. When people don't care in a job and the upper management don't care, that should tell you something. You got to go. And if there's no room for growth after 3 years, because it's on you treat jobs like college. Every 4 years, if it's not an opportunity to advance to get to the higher level, you need to go. And that's what careers is. So that's what I'm on. I'm on career base. I'm moving forward. I'm happy. You know what I mean? My skin glowing. Yeah, this is the perfect time for me. Like there's a lot of things lining up. God, man, like he showed out at the end of 24 for me. He really did. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Uh, if you ask me offline, what happened, I'll tell you. Um, but I'm not gonna do that here. Uh, all the things that happened to me, and I love y'all. I pray for y'all. I hope God blesses you with abundance of joy, whatever it is. Because me holding in animosity towards you only hinders my growth. So, congratulations to what you guys have achieved and accomplished thus far, and I hope it all works out for you. I really, truly, sincerely do. There's no malice in my heart. I think that what transpired to me and what happened with me with this particular job and how I decided like, this isn't it, is You just come to a crossroads where, the rubber meets the road, and look, the tires are bare now, and it's either going to be me getting new rims now instead of tires, or me getting a whole new set of rims and tires. And I think y'all understand what I mean when I say that. And so, um, I look forward to giving y'all more content, more discussions, more realness about me this year. Growth, growth. 16 weeks. I got 16 weeks. 2 weeks you'll see the maturation of me. 4 weeks you'll see another maturation. 8 weeks you'll see another. 12 you'll see another, and you get the point. We get into it this year in 2025, and there's nothing but positivity, and not even no inch or ounce of negativity. And I love y'all. Peace.